Good morning, everybody. It's just gone 9:30. Sorry, we're a little bit late this morning, but that's one of the joys of being out in the wild. And we have people that are spread around the globe on this call this morning, and that's why we had to deal with the elements. So I've got Sam here. Say hello, Sam, from Nexstand, and we've got Leo, who's a singer-songwriter. Just to begin with, tell people where you are in the world, and that explains a little bit about maybe why it was a difficulty getting everyone in this morning.
Well, for me, I'm in New South Wales, Australia. I'm in Yass, in a little country town, and because I usually live on the road so much, I don't actually have Wi-Fi, so I always use my hotspot on my phone. And this evening, there were storms, so I feel like, I don't know. Usually I have really good service here, but I'm struggling tonight.
Well, you made it in the end. So someone got the hamsters rolling on those wheels in the end, and produced some Wi-Fi. That's good. And Sam, where are you coming from?
So I'm coming from Bangkok. We're usually lucky to have good enough Wi-Fi. But we also get the same kind of issues when a storm comes. And then we also get power cuts. I don't know. It's still like a modern business district, so I don't know why they haven't sorted that out yet. But yeah, always makes it interesting, these kinds of things.
Well, thanks both for joining us. And we're going to be talking today about the term digital nomads. But you were saying just before we came on air, Sam, that there are some other terms that people use for this kind of lifestyle. What sort of terms were those?
Like maybe some other terms include like location, independent entrepreneur, chillpreneur. There's lots of like kind of cool terms being thrown about out there. So it's just kind of like what you feel comfortable with in terms of how you want to be referred to.
Yeah. Leo, do you see yourself as a digital nomad per se, or have you got a better term for it for yourself?
There's a little bit of a delay, just so you know.
That's okay.
But do I see myself as a digital nomad? Sorry, the internet. I'm just going to answer and hope that you can hear me. And then
we can. That's fine.
I don't really see myself as a digital nomad. I see myself as a nomad, full stop. But I do use the internet a lot and do my work wherever I am. And the internet is, the vehicle for me getting my music out there. So I guess it does relate to me.
No, absolutely.
No idea if you heard any of that.
No, yeah, we did. I've been saying to Sam over the last week as well myself, although at the moment I'm in one fixed abode, and at this part of life I'm not necessarily traveling from one place to another. I have a sort of real empathy with the digital nomad lifestyle, and per se, what I really strive for is to be able to do whatever it is that I'm doing, where I want to do it and when I want to do it. And for me, if that means that not necessarily traveling to another country to do that work, but if I want to take a laptop out and sit on the top of a mountain one afternoon and work, then I want to be free to be able to do that. And certainly for me, the freedom to, when we could, be able to travel into the middle of the countryside somewhere and actually work from a chosen spot was good. Unfortunately, I think we've lost Leo for a minute. Maybe she'll come back. It's really difficult in terms of the Wi-Fi. So Sam, talk to me about why become a digital nomad in the first place. What sort of drew you to the lifestyle?
I think it's along the lines of what you're saying. So it's like the freedom and being able to choose to work wherever you want, whenever you want. And travel is like a big part of my life as well. Like my family, they're big travelers. Like my brother actually left the UK maybe 10 years before me. So back in the mid 90s. So I feel like he was one of the first digital nomads as soon as the internet came out. So he went traveling to the likes of Curacao, Costa Rica, Panama, and I used to try and visit him as frequently as possible, just to get those holidays, those miles in, and that kind of gave me the taste for travel. I was like, oh, I really want to try and do something like this myself. So yeah, I feel like it affords, like being a digital nomad affords like a quality of life that doing a 9 to 5 doesn't necessarily do. Like I feel it's a little bit too restrained, a 9 to 5. So
yeah,
that's the reason.
And Leo, I know for you, hopefully you can hear me. When we spoke before, you and your partner, you both have a sort of traveling lifestyle. So I mean, normally when you're not in one place due to COVID, etc., you're out and about in a van. And just how does that work in terms of the dynamic of work?
Well, in terms of like, online stuff, that's been really, really good to be able to just turn on your data and use your phone as a hotspot. But it does depend on your location, where you are, because we can find ourselves sometimes in the middle of a really populated area and be in a black spot. We can think that we're going to be safe. We can set up here in this calm spot and do our work. And then we'll find that there's no reception whatsoever. So we'll have to move on and find somewhere else that's reliable. Like right now, where I am usually is reliable, but because of what's happened today with the weather and who knows what, I don't really understand it. But it's
who understands the internet? No,
I have no idea. I believe in the hamsters. I don't know how it happened.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Do you find when you've traveled somewhere, I mean, is it like you take family with you around the world, if you like, or you take family with you as you travel because you're making that connection with people over social media or over the internet? They're in tune with what you're doing in terms of your work, etc., and your certainly your creative output, etc. And then you turn up somewhere and it's like, oh, another part of my family. A group of people that are in tune with what you're doing and feel that they have some kind of connection with you.
Oh yeah, definitely. There's like the Digital Nomad Trail around the world. So there's hotspots such as Chiang Mai, Bali, Lisbon, Portugal. So it feels like you have your own community when you arrive. So it's very like-minded people who are in the same situation as you, just wanting to make friends and make money online and connect and share with each other, like skills. And yeah, it's a really nice community of digital nomads in these travel hubs.
Yeah. What about for you, Leah?
I don't know. I'm a bit of a hermit. I don't. I think that sounds really lovely, Sam. But I don't. My partner and I, we follow a lot of hashtag van life pages on social media, but we never really got involved. We just kind of watched from afar and appreciate what people are doing. But because we were gigging all the time and we keep quite busy, we kind of found ourselves when we had a moment of rest, we would just literally rest by the beach and enjoy the nomad life kind of by ourselves.
Is that partly because you're getting in front of an audience anyway when you arrive somewhere, so you've kind of got that human connection bit in intensity, if you like?
Yeah, and
when you're there.
as an introvert, I find that very draining. I love, writing music. I love performing. And that's it's a really special sort of way of connecting with people, I think, but it does drain a lot of energy for me. And I feel like I need quite a lot of time to recuperate, and, I need a lot of downtime and alone time and all that. But I have to say, we have a great community in Wollongong and the Illawarra, and there are people there who, have inspired us with the way that they've lived their lives, maybe not so much as nomads, but by doing the things that they want to do. So we know that we're understood in the sense that we're following our passions, and we have so many lovely people who totally get that.
Yeah.
That's really great to hear.
We talked about Wi-Fi being a potential negative of the whole experience. Are there any other negatives in terms of the lifestyle of being a nomad?
Yeah, I think when it comes to work, it's like having to manage your time. So there can be a lot of distractions. So say you arrive in like Chiang Mai and you want to get to know like the neighborhood, and there is so much going on. There's so many events. So you kind of have to choose wisely in what you pick to do. So you don't kind of burn out, and you have this FOMO. You can have this FOMO effect of like, oh, I might be missing out if I don't go to this event, and I could meet some people who would be really interesting. But yeah, you have to be careful in terms of managing time. Yeah.
No, I understand that. I get the same if I go to London for the day. I just want to spend a whole day in London. And even though I might just be there to do some work, etc., I'm then like, that I want to see that at the theatre, and I want to do that, and look at that gig going on over there. It's just like, where here nothing happens. So it's it's suddenly you're in the middle of all of this kind of cultural buzz, etc., and access to it. You just think, you just kind of, I don't know. For me, I just want my little fix of that while I'm there before I come out. I always arrived home from London late because it was just, how much longer can you stay there, and what can you participate in before you have to come home again. But for you, Leo, it seems like the travel is part of the rest as well. And is that really important from the creative side of things as well? Just having that sort of time and space on the road.
Yeah, I think so. I think the travel, honestly, is we did it for 2 years straight, and every day, 2 or 3 times a day, you're finding a new spot, and I think that was the most exhausting part, to be honest.
Yeah.
What I found, I loved it, and I do love it. I think what Sam was saying about the time management, as you were asking about, like maybe it's not such a good thing about being a nomad, is it's hard because it is exhausting. I find traveling all the time, and you want to get a lot of stuff done, but also, say we're in Wollongong, we want to catch up with mates, we want to go to that show, or we want to go to that beach again. It's hard. You want to take advantage while you're in the spot, but you've also got to remember that you are still working, and because you're working for yourself, you're your own boss. There's a battle going on all the time. Is it okay if I do this thing? If I go to this show, how much work do I have to get done so that I'm allowed to go? That sort of thinking.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Now, Sam, you started your business because of the lifestyle. So how did one thing blend into another? What was it about the lifestyle that made you think I've got to do this as a business?
Yeah, I didn't actually initially start doing a business for a long time. So I left the UK back in 2011 and took a year out backpacking. So we had sort of every intention to come back to the UK. And I'd even asked my work at the time, okay, is my position still open when I come back? So but it's a different story once you've experienced sort of a year out of the shackles and chains of a 9 till 5, and then going back. We tried to live back in the UK, and it was actually really tough just to get back into a routine which we weren't used to. So I'm talking about we, but my partner. So we went back out to Southeast Asia, and I realized that I needed to find some way of making money online that was going to give me the freedom to travel and not to have the 9 till 5, which I was trying to avoid. So I started off actually freelancing. So I was on websites such as like Upwork. I was doing market research for food companies because my background is actually food science. And I was also doing basically any work that would come my way, which is even doing like transcripts for typing. And I'm a very angry typer, so this is very bad for my partner. But obviously doing that, you get into the mind frame of being a digital worker, and there's certain things like lacking in that, certain products. And I discovered Nexstand through the work I was doing, and it really revolutionized like how I could work more comfortably wherever I am. So that was discovering that product, and then building up a relationship to do business and sell Nextstand itself was part of that journey. And also I've always had this environmental side as well, that I wanted to make a change in terms of I wanted to develop products that would help the world. So we've also like developed a water bottle. So it's a water bottle that filters out like 99.9% of.
Oh, I've never seen that.
Nice product placement, Graham.
Never seen that. Yeah. Oh.
So that's perfect timing. So yeah, it's a sustainable alternative to one-use plastics. We wanted to contribute in that way in terms of business, and that's how that came about as well.
We should get one of these over to you, Leo, because you can fill this up from a stream anywhere in the world.
Oh, it's great for van life.
Yes.
You know.
Perfect. It looks good.
So
what do you do at the moment for water on the van?
Sorry?
What do you do for water at the moment when you're traveling?
Like the van is fully decked out, so we have a kitchen sink and a shower and bathroom, everything. We have two 20-liter containers underneath the kitchen sink, and we use a hand pump tap. So when we've stopped somewhere, we just fill them up again.
Oh, that's pretty straightforward then.
This is an impressive van. Not only does it have that, it also has recording equipment in it. So is that right? Yeah.
Yeah. So, very basic setup, but yeah, can record stuff.
Okay. Yeah, it's not the Rolling Stones mobile studio, but it's
close.
It's livable. Yeah, you'd like that. If anyone would like to build Leo a bigger mobile studio, that would just be great.
Yeah, and if I could also be a producer too, that'd be fantastic.
Fantastic. But I think what it is for both of you though is that your lifestyle has influenced your business, and your business has influenced your lifestyle. If that
blended really
can be said. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, absolutely. And I mean, Leo, you were talking about last time that we spoke about the EP that you produced, and the fact that you met this artist on the road, etc., as well, that is doing the artwork for you, and that's it. It represents, if you like, some scenery or some nature as well that you're traveling through.
Yeah. I suppose I never thought of that actually, about how much I do tend to mention like mountains or rivers or trees even. And I guess obviously we all see those things quite often.
Well, some of us do and some of us don't. I mean, I think that's the thing, isn't it?
I've been in yes too long. I've been in the country too long. I assume everybody sees this all the time. I think it has traveling, being on the road for two years straight has definitely changed the way I think and write, even, or the subjects that I write about, for sure. That's a good point.
Yeah, and I think actually that's a thing that some people will gravitate towards in terms of your writing as well, because actually they don't have that view out of their window. You know, I used to visit a friend of mine in central London who's literally, his view out of his window was breeze blocks. that was it. That's all he could see, you know. Because you get places like that in central cities.
I just totally forget about that stuff. Just because of, I don't know, the year we've had to. I have literally been on, you know, I'm surrounded by sheep. I'm on a property.
That's wonderful. I mean, yeah, again, I'm lucky here in that I'm surrounded by countryside. I look out my window, I've got trees, I've got fields, you know. It's important to me, and it's important to, I think, from my, you know, I couldn't understand what it would be like to just see breeze blocks or just see tarmac outside. You know, having nature outside is really, really important for me. I mean, even Sam there has got her flowers.
I have my strip of nature, and yeah, it's a concrete jungle here. But, I'm making concerted effort for a tiny strip.
Yeah, but you've got, I suppose you've got space there outside, which is quite. I mean, you've got a view and a half out of that window, and I think that can be equally quite good for the mind as well, just to see that space.
You don't want a meter between you and a breeze block wall. Just to look out is a privilege. Yeah.
Well, the good thing is, both of you, is that I think we've inspired a few people this morning. So Hayley says, find that mountain, Graham. I'm always looking for that next mountain. Trust me, I'm always there. As soon as we get out of lockdown again, I'm back up to, for me, I do like where I live. We have some fantastic local landmarks. And, you know, the next time I can go and work at the top of the White Horse, which is a big chalk horse on a mountainside down here, and it's got a couple of tables at the top where you can sit and work. I'm doing that. And Anita says it's great being able to work from anywhere, but it also shows the motivation and commitment. You do have to have motivation and commitment in order to make this lifestyle work. Mountains, Himalayas, yes, absolutely. So just as final thoughts for anyone thinking about sort of adopting a more digital nomad type lifestyle, what would you say to them?
I would say give it a fair go, and make sure that you have everything you need, and think of like in terms of it for the benefits of like your health. Just having a bit of sun and the vitamin D, it's really good for your mental health as well. And in terms of when you go to these foreign countries, you often have like an abundance of like affordable, healthy food, and also like personal growth. I feel because you're seeing different cultures and seeing lots of new things, you kind of judge things from a different perspective than you usually would. So yeah, it's an eye opener, and it can help you grow personally to live and work abroad. What
about you, Leah? Any advice for anyone thinking of getting in their van?
I don't know how to follow what Sam said. I think you have to work hard, I think, and stay consistent. Working hard and staying consistent is key. I think you can probably implement that in any part of your life, and it's going to get you somewhere. But in terms of living in a van and trying to work on the road, that's really important. But as you said, Sam, your health, and especially your mental health, you have to stay on top of that. So you have to, it's tricky, but you have to find some sort of balance between work and making sure that you're okay and rested enough to keep working.
Yeah, and I hope that people looking at this, that even if they don't necessarily feel that being a complete nomad is the life for them, that it's aspirational enough for them to think about maybe where they are work-wise. And if COVID has taught us anything, and this whole pandemic situation has taught us anything, it should have taught us that there are opportunities outside of the general 9 to 5 slog, where you are tied to one particular place, or you're tied to doing work in a particular way. And if we don't learn that at very least, and think about, even for people that, you know, perhaps don't have the opportunity to move or travel, etc., but maybe they can at least in their life change to be a little bit more nomadic, and actually think about more about balance, working from home, getting their lifestyle in check a little bit more in terms of putting their health for their family, or their, you know, the other parts of their life ahead of just that. Go out, do the work, come home, go out, do the work, come home, and then at the weekend go to the pub, you know, which isn't a life, you know. So I hope people are seeing this and thinking, okay, there is a life outside of outside of the 4 walls, and, you know, even if I can take some of that aspiration for me and live some of that kind of lifestyle, even if it's at home, then that'd be a good thing. So Sam, Leo, thanks for joining us. I'm glad that the hamsters kept going.
Yes, me too. Thanks so much for putting up with that. I'm sorry.
No, absolutely not at all. So Leo, Sam, we'll arrange some kind of swap. Leo will send you some music. Sam will send you a water bottle.
Yes.
I think that sounds like a fair swap. It's it's trading, which again is part of this kind of lifestyle. There we go. Both of you, thank you very much thank you very much for coming on today and talking about being a digital nomad. Thanks for now.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for having me.